who knows nothing can understand nothing. Plunge deeper into the darkness, and your heart will grow even stronger.
Good tidings, everybody, and welcome to the Ansem Report podcast, the longest-running Kingdom Hearts podcast in the world.
The whole frickin' world.
Undisputably, the longest-running. Or you're possibly getting mind-gamed. This is episode number 80. No one is even close to 80 episodes.
No one.
No one's even close. I'm Mike. And with me, as always, is my brother, Jason, who, might I say, is looking quite dapper in his black t-shirt and black shorts.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I always match with my clothes while we're recording.
Yeah, you always do.
That's why the episodes are so good.
Because you're matching, you're looking dapper.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is the worst starting of an episode we've ever had. 80 episodes in, and this is the worst intro we've ever had. Today, Jason, we got a couple things to talk about. We're going to dive into the Cavern of Remembrance and talk about I know not what, but you do.
I do.
We're going to talk a little Dark Road, a little CBT action. We're going to talk about our question of the week, which is, what's the perfect, Nomura gives you the keys to the Mercedes or the Corvette or whatever car you think is the greatest car in the world. And he says, make me a Kingdom Hearts game.
And you're like, how do I do that with this car?
How do you do it with the car? But he'll explain later. But the point is, you make what you think the best version of the next Kingdom Hearts game would be. But before we get to all of that, we got a little bit of news to cover.
What?
Ding 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 ding. It's your nightly Kingdom Hearts news with Mike and Jason. Ding 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 ding.
Kingdom Hearts 4? No way.
No, Jason. No. It is nearing the end of the summer. It's nearing the end of the summer.
Looks like our summer vacation's almost over.
Yeah, it's almost over Roxas style. However, what that means is we're starting to get into the fall and then the winter season. And the winter season in the gaming industry is a time where video games release. They got to get ready for Christmas. Santa, who is definitely real, has to purchase all the games from all the game companies and deliver them to kids.
How else do they get in the stocking?
Exactly. That being said, leaks start happening, especially when you don't have a video game show like E3 happening to announce stuff. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing or nothing at all.
Oh my God.
However, we may have a Melody of Memory release date. An Austrian retailer listed Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory with a release date of November 13th, 2020 on their website. Both listings show the release date for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 consoles, with the Xbox One release nowhere to be seen. Okay? So, on this website, it is there. Now, have retailers been wrong before?
Yes.
Absolutely. But have they been right before?
Yes.
It's impossible to know. It's impossible to know if they've been right before. But they have been wrong. So take this with a grain of salt. But November 13th does seem like a window.
And it's also the 13th.
Yeah, and you know how Nomura loves 13. So that doesn't make sense to me for a release date. I was hoping September. I was hoping a little sooner. September or October. But so it seems like we're going to get November.
As long as they don't hit us with the fucking, oh, it's being released in the 13th month of 2020, I'll be happy.
Yeah, back when Nomura was on his bullshit, you know?
He still is.
He's always
November 13th?
He's always on his bullshit.
It might be November 13th, 2021.
It could be. No, that game's not getting delayed again. What do you think? This is Halo Infinite? It's not getting delayed.
Ouch. 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 Ouch.
Ouchie wawa.
Infinite sadness.
Halo and the Infinite Sadness. So,
No.
With Melody of Memory upon us, that's pretty exciting, right?
Yeah. It's nice to have like a somewhat of an actual date.
Yeah, even if it's not entirely true.
Or confirmed.
But it's nice.
It's always been like Melody of Memory. It's way the fuck out there, you know.
Well,
it's gonna happen.
I actually think this is kind of late considering the other news we've gotten, where it's like, oh, it's been approved by the ESRB, and it's
right. Well, at least for me, like if something doesn't have a release date, it doesn't really exist for me. You know what I mean? Like,
what?
Like it's just data out there.
If it doesn't have a release date, it doesn't exist.
Exactly. Like
you didn't see me, but here I am. I'm released now, so now I exist.
Like I don't really bother with like keeping up on stuff too much until there's like an actual release date. And even then I'm kind of like this shit could get delayed.
Well, technically, Halo didn't have a release date.
Right.
And then it got delayed. But
Yeah,
what if
still.
that was the release date all along? Was it really a delay?
Who knows, dude? That's too five-head for me to even think about.
Maybe Xbox was playing some mind games.
Yeah, mind games with their fucking
Mind games.
with their fucking stocks.
Yeah. That way when they go back up, we'll say mind game.
Yeah, they actually know that Infinite is like the best game of all time. So they're like, we're going to tank our stocks. We fucking buy them bitches up. And then as soon as Halo
that,
Infinite launches.
It's called insider trading.
Yeah.
And it's not allowed.
That is, yeah. Sir, officer, sir, it was a mind game.
Your Honor, I'd like to point to the fact
It
that
was a mind game.
my client, the defendant, was playing mind games. He wasn't insider trading. He was just playing mind games with the stocks.
It looks like this court is adjourned.
Nothing to see here. Not guilty. But he is guilty of playing mind games. Anyway, we've barely talked about Melody of Memory, but it's coming upon us, and I'd just like to thank Sarah Key.
Yeah.
Because this is her fault, according to people on the internet, that we're getting a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game because she played Kingdom Hearts on a dance pad.
And we're really mad.
We're not mad. We love
We
Sarah
hate
Key.
rhythm games.
I will say, though,
And Sarah Key.
I haven't watched her video of her beating Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 1 with the dance pad. But if you just mapped strike raid to triangle, that's easy. Okay? Maybe I should start trying to beat Sephiroth with like a drum controller.
And you just hit the fucking drum over and over.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Maybe I'll try it. I wonder how easy that would be to get hooked up.
Oh, like a rock band controller? Yeah. I think your problem would be moving forward.
D-pad.
Oh, like you would just fucking move with the actual thing, and then you like...
Well, how does she move on a dance pad? She doesn't have a...
She presses the fucking D-pad on the dance pad.
Well, right. But how do you... You don't use the D-pad to move in Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
So how does that work?
No, because it's an emulator. You just you bind the...
Yeah. I would just...
She didn't plug that bitch into a PlayStation 2. Come on now, bro.
I don't know. Maybe. Shit. Maybe I'll play some mind games and play some drum beats and beat Sephiroth. Wouldn't that be dope if I could like play an actual beat and beat him? Like, it's like gotcha, you know, like doing all the moves.
Hell yeah, that would be dope.
I'm gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3 on a drum pad.
You could probably do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit the green pad over and over, so I just use all the reaction command or not reaction commands.
Yeah.
The rides.
That's a possibility.
It's a possibility. Anyway, you got anything else to say about Melody of Memories possibly coming out November 13th?
I just kind of hope it's wrong and it's earlier, but I'm not too mad.
I'd like a Halloween. So that way we can stream that instead of people trying to get us to stream Dead Space. Anyway,
yeah, that would be a bailout.
That would be a good bailout.
Help a brother out.
But right now it's kind of like butter the turkey nipples. It's Thanksgiving. Get your stuffing and your cranberry sauce and play Melody of Memories with your family around the table.
don't know what voice you're doing, but
I don't either. It was Gamer's Joint, and then it turned into like Phil or something. I got 3 words for you. Big dick. Those are.
I was totally expecting you to say a third word, and I don't know why. That's not the bit.
The bit is that he doesn't say the right amount of words.
Exactly.
Jason was looking at me like, big dick what, dude?
Big dick what? I was waiting. You're like, big dick.
Dark road, take me home to the place where I belong. Scholar Kyan, saying, oh mama, take me home. Dark road. Dark road, ladies and gentlemen. I'm opening it up on my phone right now. Ooh, it booted right away. So before we get into Dark Road and what the update... Well, actually, no. Let's talk about the updates first, because I want you to know what's at stake with my Jewel pull.
Oh, dear God.
So, new cards, dude. We got some new cards. We got 3 new cards. There's Mushu, Emerald Blues, and the card simply known as Hag.
Dear God.
Mushu is a red card, and his ability is Fire. And his... base power is 25, max power is 45. Emerald Blues is a green card and does arrow, base power 15, max power 45. And then Hag is a blue card, main ability poison, weak, null, weak magic attack, low probability of poison. And so that means like it's a magic attack without an element, but it can also poison. On top of that, there's a new card for a special mission, is Donald number 2. And Donald number 2 is a green card. He uses Thunder, base power 12, max power 40.
Why does it say card name Mushu?
The KH Insider messed it up. But the card name's Donald number 2.
Oh.
They accidentally put Mushu for that.
Oh.
Way to call him out. The draw odds for these cards. So right now, Ventus, Aqua, and Terra are still 0.13035%. Along with Key Scene 4, Key Art 3, and Axel. Those are all 0.13035%.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
No. Hag is 1.00270%. Yeah, Mushu is the same, and Emerald Blues is the same. So they're 1.00270%. For reference, Keyblade Red, which is the last one listed on here, 5.0135%. And there are lots of cards that are 5%, including everybody's favorite, Abu Blue.
What?
I'm going to do a 3,000 Jewel 10-card draw right now.
Blue Abu. Blue Abu. Blue Abu. Blue Abu. Blue Abu. Blue Abu. Blue Abu.
Christ, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's not as impressive as when you called it on the one card, but I got a fucking Blue Abu. Okay. I now have 10 Blue Abus.
Hell yeah. Now, anytime you get Blue Abu, that's cha-ching.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Whatever the fuck points.
Rainbow points. Okay, so here's what I got, folks. Holy shit. Blue deck of cards, Blue Abu, Blue Soldier, Red Large Body, Blue Heartless, like the little baby Heartless, 2 red Starlight Keyblades, Red Abu, Donald, not number 2, Donald number 1, the fucking useless Donald that cast Shell, and the only new card I got was Captain Hook.
Oh.
Who does Dark Break?
He does stab.
No, he does Dark Break.
Okay.
So, that sucked.
What the hell do you mean? You got Dark Break.
That was terrible.
Dark Break.
The last time I did a poll live on air, I got Terra.
Blue a boo.
Does Captain Hook even make my lineup?
Blue a boo.
He does. Okay. So I'm level 29.
When will we ever hit 30?
I still have 27,000 gems. 2,700 gems. Sorry, not thousands.
I was like, bro, what the fuck are we doing here?
So I'm not quite there for another poll. However, I do have the Donald. Oh, wait, I wouldn't want Donald 2. Donald 2 you get from getting BP.
Oh, right.
So that's actually nice that Donald 2. You could still draw Donald 2. That's so scuffed.
That is kind of scuffed, though.
And you. Okay, you get 10 from doing the missions, and it's just gaining BP. So it's actually pretty easy to get Donald 2, which is nice, because it's nice that they gave you a free magic card, because magic cards are hard to come by. However, I am still here to tell you, download BlueStacks if you want to play this game and run it on your computer. I have not done that yet, because I want my experience for the podcast to be what the typical experience is. If you really want to play this game, if I was starting now, I would download BlueStacks and grind on my computer. That's probably illegal for me to say. I cannot tell you where to get BlueStacks or anything.
No, nothing.
What's BlueStacks?
All I know is a blue boo.
That's all I know is a blue boo. So, anyway, there's an event right now, I think. There's an event where you get a premium quest key if you beat it. And those are good because you can get a lot of BP. And I'm doing it right now on auto. It's five enemies.
Hell yeah, dude. Were there like one shot or whatever?
Well, it's level 5, then level 10, now it's level 15. Now this one's level 18. But Terra's making short work of them. And the last one is level...
Hello?
26. I couldn't read it. It was the font's so small. And he's a wizard. But don't worry. Young Xehanort's got this. Ariel with Blizzard. Hell yeah. Blue Abu coming in. Doing 10 times damage. You got to love it. You love to see it. Basically, this game is terrible. I can't even... If I'm auto-battling, I can't even tap to make my cards come back, which is so scuffed.
Yeah, I can't believe they haven't added that yet.
And the most scuffing thing in the world, honestly, is that there's no... Like, when you have Alice in your lineup... Oh my god, I just got 300 more jewels. Should we do another pull? When I got Alice in my lineup, they don't use it when I'm poisoned.
Yeah.
The AI is not smart enough to use a card that's designed to get rid of a status effect when you have that status effect.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't even grind on your computer with BlueStacks or with your phone sitting upside down because you die. Because you get poisoned. And the game's not smart enough. All right, we're doing another draw. Fuck it.
For me, I hate that it's in like a fucking, like there's like when people like crossbreed animals, like a liger, right?
Okay.
And because of that, because they're not supposed to be a fucking thing, they have like fucking genetic problems.
Uh-huh.
Right?
So you're saying...
That's how I feel about Dark Road, dude. Because it's a fucked up baby between a fucking AFK, like almost like a clicker game, and like an actual like game where you have to fucking sit down and play it. And it just holds your phone hostage, but it doesn't even do it in like the right way.
Yeah.
Like you can't run it in the background. You can't even like slightly AFK. Like, for example, like I'll be playing, a better mobile game, Dissidia Opera Omnia,
Welcome to Jason's Dissidia Opera Omnia 5 minutes.
And like I'll put it on auto for the mission, and then I'm like, oh, okay, the mission's done. I just fucking collect the rewards. And then I put on another one, and then I come back. And that feels good because there's actual progression that I'm getting immediately.
Right. But you can't exactly leave that AFK either.
No.
Because each mission you have to redo. But you're right. You're getting a reward instantly for having to go back to it. Where this, it's like, my reward is, do I use a charm or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, so here's my second pull. I got green deck of cards. That's +7 now. I got blue Kyrie, which is gauge boost. So stacking it doesn't even do anything.
Yikers.
So I have 2 of those now. I have red Abu, and he's +10 now. So 2 of my Abus are +10. I got 2 green bandits. So they're +7 now. I got 2 blue shadows. So that's +8. I got a red Starlight Keyblade. That's +7. I got a green Starlight Keyblade, which doesn't have a number on it. I don't understand why.
Maybe
and then I got another Captain Hook.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the green Starlight I'm already maxed, so I'm gonna turn it into rainbow money. Shot points.
And buy some more blue booze.
Yeah. I don't even think I have enough shot points to buy anything. I have 20 shot points. What can I get for 20 shot points?
So do you get like 10 for each card?
4.
You get 4?
4. So for 60, I could buy the Hag card.
Okay, that's not bad. But that's still what? Fucking...
I wonder if it's a better card if you get more. But because that's like one of the highest chance cards, it's just like, yo, you get 4 points.
So you would have to have 15 cards be wasted to get the Hag.
Yeah. Also, key scenes 1, 2, and 3 are on here, and they are 150.
What in the fuck?
And key art 1 is 180. Riku replica is 180. Key art 3 is 180. Axel's 180. Any of the really like...
You would have to waste like fucking 50 fucking cards.
Yeah, but... Or... Can I buy shot points? No.
You'd have to waste 50 fucking cards to guarantee.
I can't buy shot points, dude.
That's fucking awful.
Why?
That's fucking awful, dude.
Can I buy shot points with jewels?
That's the equivalent of the fucking burst right now. If you were to pity pull it on Dissidia Opera Omnia, a better mobile game.
Okay. Well, see you, Dark Road. We'll be back next week, but for now, see ya.
Later, bitch.
Sometimes I have these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this dark or road? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to enter the Cavern of Remembrance. Butter your hams, your ham hocks, and cut up your turkey nips and eat your milk duds. We're gonna get into the Cavern of Remembrance, and then we're gonna answer your question of the week here on the longest running mind game podcast on the internet. Is any of this real or not? Mind games.
Don't go anywhere.
You were so
Don't
forceful.
fucking go anywhere.
You were so forceful with that.
Hey! You! Don't go anywhere, man.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Ansem Report podcast, the longest running Kingdom Hearts, Willy Wonka, Austin Powers podcast about Jason's feet on the internet. Jason, it's time to enter, to spelunk deep into the Cavern of Remembrance. For those of you that don't know what the Cavern of Remembrance is, it is a segment where we asked the community on our Discord, the link is in the description if you'd like to join, please do, it's a great community, things that they were confused about in Kingdom Hearts, or maybe they weren't sure what the answer was, or maybe they didn't know if there was an answer about the lore of Kingdom Hearts. Every week, we alternate picking a topic. This week, Jason has picked a topic which I do not know. He will then ask me to explain this topic to the best of my ability without anything other than my prior knowledge of it. And then he will explain this topic after my 3 minutes are up. He picked... looking at his face before he started laughing maniacally, he picked an absolute dog shit topic. So I'm going to set my 3 minutes on the clock. Jason, as soon as you're done explaining to me what I'm talking about, I will hit start.
Okay, so this one I chose for a very specific reason. Because Mike and I were on, the Cheer Thief for Charity stream. And there's a certain topic that kept fucking us up, getting us wrong answers.
I know what it is. Damn it.
On the trivia, and was the sole reason we lost.
I knew I should have picked this for you.
So
I was nice,
Mike.
I was nice, and
from Skittles, someone had to do it. It was either me or you, dude. Yeah. So from Skittles for Hannah, is anything?
Shout out Skits.
Yeah, big shout outs to an OG.
Skit's one of the best meme curators I've ever seen in my life.
And also just a real one overall.
Yep. Shout out to
Is
Skittles.
anything encoded important? Go.
So the short answer is no. The short answer is no. There's nothing important in Recoded, but I will try to humor you to the best of my ability. So in Recoded, Mickey Mouse discovers a virus in Jiminy's. They digitize Jiminy's journal, and they discover a virus in there, and it says whoever something about mending, return to mendum.
Okay, that's pretty close.
Something weird like that. And so they have Data Sora go on the computer, similar to how they have Data Sora in the Remind DLC and the Limit Cut bosses. And basically, Data Sora does, from what I remember, the exact same shit he does in Kingdom Hearts 1, like over again. Because they needed to do that a third time after doing it in Chain of Memories and the first game.
Yeah.
And then he meets Data Riku, and then they become buddies. But Data Riku is also a bad guy at points. I don't really...
You remember way more than I remembered off the top of my head. So I'm going to say props to that.
And basically, what's supposedly important about it is that Maleficent figures out that you can go to Data Worlds, basically, because at the end she shows up in the Data version of Jiminy's journal, her and Pete, or something like that. And then, basically, there's these blocks. They're like virus blocks, and they look like the blocks in Big Hero 6, which is the bugs, and people thought like, oh, it's the connection, which is why some people still think the Riku in Big Hero 6 is different from the Riku that we see in the Keyblade Graveyard in Kingdom Hearts 3, because they think he's Data Riku, because he acts different too. He acts more like a cock, so that's why people think that's actually Data Riku, but that's like a theory for another time. Anyway, Recoded, there's Data Nominee for some reason, and this is why Mickey sends the letter to Sora and Riku at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. You thought it was going to be something like cool about Kingdom Hearts 3. No, it's literally Mickey going, I got a virus in my computer and I don't know how to download McAfee, so this is what happened. Like, that's literally what it is. It's so dumb.
He tried to download some illegal.
He got on fucking LimeWire and tried to download greatest Fall Out Boy songs, but they were labeled wrong, and then there was like a My Chem song in there, but it was labeled as a Fall Out Boy song, and then he got a virus. And
but now he really likes My Chem, so kind of
yeah, but he's still like, part of him is still like, this is a Fall Out Boy song, like that's the problem. And like, he doesn't know, like, that's the problem with like downloading stuff on like sharing websites back in the day, because you couldn't download a whole album, so you would like get confused and not know like what fucking like
what was where.
Right, so you're like, is Dance on From Under the Cork Tree, or is it on Take This to Your Grave? And you don't know, unless you go on Wikipedia and do the research. And so that is why Recoded is not important.
Okay. So
I actually, now that I'm over with that, I feel more sympathy for you that you actually have to explain this stupid fucking game.
No, it actually wasn't that bad. You remember? I fucking don't remember shit. Like, the most I remembered before researching this was that, like, at one point they realized that they are inside the Data world too, and that Data Sora,
they become sentient.
Yeah, and it's like weird. Like, that's the twists. Like, they look at the camera type shit.
Everybody be nice to computers, because one day they're gonna turn on us.
Yeah,
and they'll fucking remember.
That's true.
They'll fucking remember what you did, Tyler.
Oh my god.
We know what you did, Tyler. We know.
So anyways, there's really only like 3 points that even matter in the entire game.
Lay them on me.
One, they figured out it's like the BBS, or is it BBS? The secret movie where Aqua's sitting down. Yeah, it's the BBS secret movie where she's sitting down with fucking
Ansem the Wise.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like they're
Are
all.
you sure that's not the DDD secret movie?
Is it the DDD secret movie? I don't remember. Where like they pretty much
talking about Blink Points,
where they reveal that everybody is connected to Sora or whatever.
Right.
It's essentially the same thing. where in the game you run into a hooded figure. So like it's weird. Like there's the first playthrough of the game and you play as Data Sora, but then at the end, like near the end, Mickey is randomly like just brings up the point that like, oh, and by the way, when we fix this, we're gonna have to erase all of this so that it goes back to normal. So you'll lose your memory. Gee, sorry. And then Data Sora isn't even worried about himself. He's like, well, Maleficent and Pete are still in here. The actual one, we need to make sure that they don't get deleted because they're real people.
They should have deleted them, dude.
They should have. And then they go to go save them, but then when he's following this hooded figure who turns out to be Data Roxas, he fights Data Roxas. Or wait, no. At that point, that's Data Riku. But Data Riku is the journal, like, itself. But it shows up as Data Riku.
I remember that now.
And then Maleficent and Pete, like, grab him and put bugs in him.
Gross.
And that's where you get the, they put bugs in him line.
He put bugs in him.
And so then that's why you have to fight him at one point, right?
Okay.
Well, then...
So wait, how do they do this? Can we talk more about this for a second? So Pete and Maleficent physically grab the Data version of Riku, and they do what to put bugs in him?
I don't know, dude.
Is there like a funnel?
No one could know. No one could.
Pliers?
I think they just put it in his food.
Oh.
His Data food.
They put... Yeah, but he doesn't need to eat food.
They had him download something, and in parentheses it said no virus, and so he knew there was no virus, but then there actually was.
Yeah, dude, that's
fucked up, dude.
That is when you do that, when you Trojan horse somebody in that way, dude. Like
no virus,
like no virus, like the Trojan horse said on it, no army inside,
right? And
they were like, shit, there's not an army in this horse. We gotta let it in, and then there fucking was.
Yeah,
there fucking was an army. That's fucked.
Yeah.
Achilles is an asshole.
True.
Was Achilles in part of that?
I don't know. Sure. Yeah, 100%.
Yes. Mind games. Anyway, he recoded.
Yeah, but yeah. So
was
anyway,
Achilles in Recoded?
So then, no, he wasn't.
Okay.
He was in the original draft, but they had to take him out because he was too OP. Anyway.
It's not that OP. You just hit him.
Yeah, no, but nobody knows that's part of it. That's why
his mom held him by one fucking leg above the river Styx and didn't think to just switch hands at one point or switch legs. If she would have done that, we wouldn't even have a fucking name for this tendon in the back of our fucking foot, dude. It would just be like if she would have just, or fucking put him in a burlap sack, dunk the whole fucking sack. Then maybe you have like a sack that's unbeatable though. Maybe it doesn't. A net. Put him in a net. All the water will get in the net, and then he's unbeatable. And then he doesn't get shot in the fucking.
Maybe you just have a burlap sack that's unbeatable. Dude, he'll be the bad guy in KH1.
Yeah, dude.
At the beginning.
Oh my god. This world has been connected.
Anyways.
One who knows nothing can understand it. Basically, I'm saying Achilles' mom was a bad parent. All right.
She's not a 5-head. Data Sora's like, yo, we can't let them die, right? Saves them and whatever. But then they reset his memory, but then they find out it's still not good because they're trapped in the datascape.
Wait, who is?
Fucking Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. Do you don't remember the cutscene? Like, they're, like, looking at the computer, but then they go, huh? And they kind of, like, look at a camera, essentially. Like, they look at the camera and are like, oh, shit, we're in the datascape.
Oh.
Because Data...
I don't remember that.
So, the castle is getting attacked by Heartless, and I guess actual Sora is there, but it doesn't really make sense as to why he gets mailed a fucking message in a bottle later. I don't know. But then they realize... the person who comes to save them is Data fucking Riku, and they're like, yo, we're in the fucking Matrix, dude. It's all a simulation, right?
I've been shaking my head for the last 30 seconds.
So then there's another hooded figure who's like, yo, like they don't want you to know the truth. And so then they have to go through the whole story again. Because he goes through it and he's sad because he doesn't remember these people, but he still feels like that like connection or like lack thereof, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when he beats the hooded figure, it's Data Roxas. That's when they find Data Nominee. And Data Nominee is like, yo, somehow she knows exactly what's up with Nominee, but she's like, this is a side effect of putting together his memories back together, and that there are some that aren't his memories, and that's what's causing the bugs or whatever. And so that's how they figure out. So essentially the main point that was even part for the game was that Sora is connected to all these different people, and that he's the key to finding these people.
Why have you done this? Why did you pick this one? Skittles, why did you suggest this? My brain hurts. Like, and I don't know if it's because I don't understand or because I don't want to. Maybe I just need to open my mind. Maybe I need to, like, smoke some weed.
Oh my god.
And just be like, Recoded.
It's a good game.
It's a good game. Maybe we need to play Recoded.
People say the gameplay is fun, but the story is awful. Or, like, at least filler.
So it's the opposite of 358. Why couldn't they just made those games, get rid of the Recoded story, get rid of 358's gameplay, and then you have a good game?
That makes no sense.
That makes zero sense. Because you're a fucking boy in a computer beating on blocks. But I didn't mean literally take the gameplay. I meant like...
No, you did.
Okay.
You can't take
All
it
right,
back.
do you have anything else to say about Recoded?
There was another point, but I don't even remember, to be honest. Oh, yeah, at the very end, there's the final cutscene that leads into DDD, where it's at Jensen's tower, and Jensen is like, yo, it's just him and Mickey, and he's like, yo, because Ansem and Xemnas were defeated, now Xehanort's back. So we need to have Sora and Riku take the Mark of Mastery exam ASAP. And then that's the letter in the bottle.
Which, I have a tangent for that. It makes no sense, because they tell us that the rule is when a nobody and a heartless are defeated, it forms the somebody, right?
Uh-huh.
So the nobody and heartless of Xemnas and Ansem Secret Darkness came from Terranort, which was Xehanort inside Terra's body. Right?
Mm-hmm.
When they die, it should have reformed Terranort with Terra was Xehanort inside his body. But instead, it reformed Terranort and Xehanort. Because they've said two different times,
Right.
in two different instances, there they say that Xehanort's back. And then in 3...
In Remind,
they say, oh, when those two died, it reformed Terranort. So you're telling me it brought both of them back? Because that makes zero sense.
Well, also, like, you're telling me that there's no, like, actual Xehanort, like, nobody and Heartless that gets made when he fucking takes his heart out?
I don't know. Well, in, like,
and you can't say that it's when you take out your own heart, because that's what fucking Sora did, and he still created a nobody and a Heartless.
Right. Well, what I thought was that it reformed Xehanort, Master Xehanort, Old Man Xehanort, and then they brought Terranort from the past. And I was okay with that. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But no.
Well, because then that would mean there's two Xehanort hearts, like full completed hearts in one timeline.
Yeah, but he's putting his heart in everybody else anyway, so that doesn't really matter.
I always thought it was like fragments.
Either way, it's stupid. Also, now that we're done with this awful segment, I want to say Mel pointed out to me, Secret Reports Mel pointed out to me that what we talked about last week with the 3 parts, and you need 2 parts to be a whole, that's not been confirmed anywhere. It's just the best like theory people have. And I thought we were kind of clear on that, but not as clear as we could have been, that our answers aren't necessarily like the gospel.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
Like I even said, hey, I'm taking this from like a forum post.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
So be mindful of that. Like don't go running into like an internet argument and going, well, the Super SpikeGhetti Bros said. We're just trying to talk about this to give everybody a better idea of what these topics mean. Did we do a good job today? Probably not.
Maybe.
But you also asked us to talk about Recoded, so that's your own fault.
True.
It's time for the Question of the week. Sorry, I deflated there. This week's question of the week, let me read it word for word from the mouth of our good friend, Mr. Beanfest, Sean AFK, a.k.a. the host of the Trouble at the Tipton, the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody recap podcast.
Hell yeah.
He likes when that's the podcast I talk about of his. This is the question from him. What's your dream KH game? If Nomura came to you and said you were going to head up your own KH project and had infinite funds and no restrictions outside of having to use Disney or Square Enix properties, what would you make? So here we go. Just the End of the World, formerly known as Just a Red Nocturne, formerly known as Sean's, says, I had this whole chapter worth of text I was going to post. I decided instead to keep it simple. Remake KH1 with the KH3 engine. You know what I want. And then he posts a picture of Jafar as a snake. Because that's what he wants.
You know what I want.
All right, so Alex has a college thesis paper for us. My dream KH game? All right, time to make up for the lame answers I gave the last couple weeks. Kingdom Hearts. Fall of that little horny bastard. Okay, fine, I'll stop. Story. No more black coats. I'm starting to get really tired of seeing them because literally everyone is wearing them. Heck, just cut out darkness being the big villain thing anyway. I want villains who use the light. It's like Ericus, except the villain is actually smart. I want a villain that makes light seem just as threatening as darkness, but doesn't say light every 0.0002 seconds in their monologues. A conflict that lets everyone know that light isn't as pure as it seems and there needs to be balance. All Guardians of the Lights have their own arcs. I love Sora, but I'd love to see other Guardians take on other challenges that last longer than just one small boss fight. Also, I want Sora, Riku, and Kairi to fight together for once. Fuck Michael Mouse, fuck Donald and Goofy, I want the Destiny Trio to fight the villains together for once. Sora doesn't fucking die again. No more questions are asked. All questions are answered. No more annoyingly
Every single one.
complicated plot twists that Nomura throws in the game. No more Master of Masters of Master of Masters. No more Xehanort and his bald fucking head. It would be like KH2, a nice spot to end the series once and for all. If there was a secret ending, it could ask a couple questions that could easily be answered if you went back and did a little research. Gameplay. Donald actually heals you. Haha, funny, totally not overused joke. For combat, I would have the amazing movement of KH2, the flashiness of KH3. Then you would have such a satisfying game to mess around with. Drive forms come back, and there's more of them besides the classic 5. I'm thinking there could be one form that could prioritize defense, or a bait and punish kind of fighting style, a form that could prioritize speed, and maybe some forms that could be similar to how other characters fight. Like Sora could have a Dawn form and fight like Riku, or a Nothing form and fight like Roxas or Shield. Also, it doesn't take 40 years to grind levels for drive forms. Plus, the player would know how to level up the forms instead of having to go into the stats. Flow motion is broken again. Shot locks are actually balanced. Every good Keyblade comes back. Ultimate weapon's even more broken. And Alex is almost done here. We have worlds and other stuff for categories. Worlds. I'm going to put in so many worlds, and they're all going to be great. Trust me. Radiant Garden, Twilight Town, Land of Departure, Scalded Kayam / Daybreak Town, Keyblade Graveyard, Final World, Realm of Darkness / Dark World, Death Star, Xandar, Springfield, Game Central Station, New Mushroomton, that's from Onward, Metroville, Land of the Dead, Toy Box, Midgar, Shibuya, and Trodane, which is from Dragon Quest.
I feel like an Onward world would be cool, and I never even seen that movie.
I also want to point out when they said Shibuya, they meant the world ends with you, Shibuya. Side eye from me. Other stuff. Gummy missions are actually fun, like in KH2. Mini games are actually memorable. Data fights, but it's literally every damn organization member plus the new guys on steroids. You thought the KH3 fights were crazy. No, no, no. Thank you, Alex, for that answer. Very detailed, very long. I guess that's what we ask for when we ask for this kind of question.
Yeah.
Mr. Beanfest answers his own question here. My dream KH game would be in the style of Persona, but when you're in dungeons, it plays like KH3. Story. The game would be set after Sora has returned to the Realm of Light and everyone is back together. The adults of the group have realized these kids need to actually go back to school. There's probably some inciting incident where Terra and Aqua ask Sora, Roxas, and Ventus some super basic shit they can't answer, or they realize that Roxas can't read. Because all these kids are morons. They're enrolled in the school on Destiny Island. They would then play out a year of school while dealing with the foretellers as dungeons. The game would play like Persona, where you live out each day of a calendar year. You play as Sora, and also attending a school are Riku, Kairi, Roxas, Shion, Naminé, and Ventus. On your days off, you could travel to the other original worlds to interact with other characters. They each have their own confidants that you'd rank up and unlock story that fleshes out the relationships between Sora and them. And before you say anything, no, they can't bang. No romances, just friendship.
God damn it.
I will not play this game.
Yeah.
They'd also have social ranks between them, like in Fire Emblem Three Houses, but the number of ranks depends on how close the characters are in canon. Shion and Ventus might only have 2 or 3 conversations, while Roxas and Shion could have 5 or more. There would also be characters outside of the ones you go to school with that you can hang out and advance social ranks with. The Final Fantasy characters in Destiny Islands, the Final Fantasy characters in Radiant Garden, the Org members in Radiant Garden, Terra, Aqua, Lee, Isa, etc. Open world locations. Destiny Islands. School and the island they play on. Sora, Riku, and Kairi would live here. Also, the gang from KH1 would be here. Twilight Town would have shops and where you can find Lee, Isa, Shion, and Roxas. Remy's restaurant would be operating here. Radiant Garden would have more shops and be where you can find the Final Fantasy characters and the revived organization members. Land of Departure would have some training areas and where you can find Ventus, Terra, and Aqua. Yensid's Tower would have some training areas where you can find Yensid, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. Procedural dungeon in the vein of Mementos in Persona 5, but it's the Realm of Darkness. Dungeons. The dungeons would take place in the Disney worlds and focus on stopping one of the foretellers' plans in each world. Star Wars. Set it in the new High Republic era coming next year. Completely disconnected from pre-existing stuff so you can actually do something interesting. Actually, Sean, I want to say, that sounds stupid. If you're doing Star Wars, why wouldn't you include characters that people know?
Also, why wouldn't you just use The Last Jedi?
Yeah. The best Star Wars movie. New York, Marvel, Onward, Treasure Planet, Gravity Falls, Scald, Kaim, Daybreak Town would be the final dungeon of the game. Okay, Sean, thank you for your answer, even though part of it was definitely wrong. I saw this TikTok the other day. It was on Twitter. I saw it because I don't have TikTok, but it was Anakin Skywalker if he was a Twitch streamer.
Okay.
Hold on, I need you to watch it right now.
That impression of his voice is very good.
Yeah, it's a very good impression, isn't it?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I
want that in a cage game.
I retweeted it on our official Twitter, so if you guys can check it out. I probably cut out the part where we just listen to us giggle watching it. Tyler Rim says, my dream KH game is one that's going to be close to Jason's heart. He didn't say this, but I know.
Okay.
Is a Kingdom Hearts Muso.
Oh my god.
Story? Who gives a fuck? Just want to tear through hordes and hordes as Roxas or Axel or Zeniths or Kairi or Pence. I'll find a way to make Pence playable, damn it.
That would be so lit, dude.
Do it in locales like Radiant Garden, Hollow Bastion, the streets of the world that never was. Put Neku in. Bring back Tarzan. Let him say fuck. That's it. That's the game. Kingdom Hearts Dynasty Warriors.
Oh my god. Dude, imagine you hit the Muso gauge as fucking Roxas, and he does this fucking DM, dude. Yeah. And you're just like fucking racking up like thousands of fucking heartless kills.
A KH Muso game would be super hype. It'd be super hype. And that's probably the best answer. Sorry, everybody else I'm going to read. Wildcat Diana, Terra's Union says, honestly, I'm so satisfied with the ending of KH3 in terms of where the story is going that I want this trend to continue. I've been saying in this Discord that we needed the Radiant Garden lore to be shown in some way and Kairi's past to be explained, and apparently no mirror heard my prayers. But if I had some control over where the games are going, I would love for a BBS-style Union Cross remake. The playable characters could be Scold, Ephemer, and Brain since they are original ones from the Young Leaders. We don't need to play as Ven or Lorium, and it would go into detail throughout the entire Unchained and Union Cross story. I think
the thing is with that game, and other games have the same problem. Sometimes your character is in cutscenes, and sometimes they're not, and it's just whenever they want. And if they have any agency, it's random, up to their own decision whether or not they're in the cutscene, they have any type of fucking anything going on. Well, I think it's the same thing in Borderlands 3.
I think that's why she said you'd play as Scold, Ephemer, or Brain.
Okay. Yeah, because like if you couldn't do the player character, because there's multiple times where there's like.
Well, any game that has like instance stuff where it's like an MMO in some kind of way, your player character is not going to have a ton of agency because it has to do it for a million different characters.
Some games, yeah.
Simply Sorta Sora says, at this point, I think it would be amazing if we got to play as the trios. I enjoy where the series is headed, but I think it'd be cool to rotate between characters. I really want Sora, Riku, and Kairi to finally take on Heartless together and watch the Wayfinder trio work together instead of playing their separate routes. It would be awesome if we were able to interchange trios as well. Sora, Roxas, and Ventus fighting side by side. Even Terra, Aqua, and Lee. Earth, Water, and Fire. Dope as fuck. I also really want a better VR experience that is first person and builds on the player being a Keyblade wielder. I want to run the streets of Twilight Town and Traverse Town and smack down some Heartless. Thank you, Simply Sorta Sora. Huge if true, Cloud Strife 77 says, I can't deny how hard of a question this is, but I'll give it my best. Worlds. With the obvious need of Disney or Square products, I would need to include Halloween Town and Beast Castle. Those are my favorite worlds in the series. I personally never cared for the Disney parts, so more Hollow Bastion and Traverse Town are a must. I also want new areas that are original to the plot with more important lore than Disney worlds. Like put an even amount of Disney and OG worlds. I feel like only the end mattered in most KH games and not the whole plot, except in KH2 and KH Recom. KH Recom had story development after most floors with crazy ass cutscenes. Story-wise, Recom has always been my favorite. Gameplay. I definitely want drive forms to come back, but everything else in KH3 to stay. I would also include a new difficulty, maybe called Critical Darkness, where you play like the base critical modes, but if you die, you must restart from the beginning. Yikers! The MP bar would be...
That's terrible.
Yeah, the MP bar would be reverted to KH1 style, as I felt the best version when it comes to usage, but the strength of magic would increase like KH2. In other words, with proper equipment and good grind, it would allow the players to feel nearly invincible by the end. I would also include New Game Plus with maxed out equipment and level from past saves. Story. Okay, here comes the hard part. I would allow the player to play any of the Keyblade wielders besides Sora. The story would change per character just like BBS did. At the end, they would meet up for one big finale. I would also allow you to fight Organization Foretellers in between worlds, but not fully defeating them till the end. Then you would face them all again and face the Masters, but he would then put everyone in Shibuya, in which it would lead to the next game where they find Sora and Yozora. Iron Daddy says, I would like a Union Cross MMO where you can create your own Keyblade wielder and play with your friends, and it would retell the whole story of Union Cross because I'm not playing that damn phone game. The game would play like any other MMO with classes and skills you can select. Some people could master magic, others Keyblade powers, and maybe even the power of darkness.
No, that's in the year 1 expansion where they make all of your gear absolutely obsolete. But now there's a new class though.
Yeah.
So you know that tries to overshadow that.
Right. Definitely. The Philly Gamer says, I would love an eventual game where we play a new main character that is training under either Master Riku or Master Sora. Now adults, Sora and Riku are attempting to train the next generation of Keyblade wielders, and we play a new duo or trio that become the new main protagonists. I'd have the Kingdom Key passed down to the main character, implying that there has always been more to the Kingdom Key than we know, and discovering why it is would drive the plot of the first game in this new series.
Bro, people would be pissed.
Yeah, they would.
If there's just a time jump and it's like, oh yeah, Sora and Riku and Kairi are adults now.
That's what I call the Gears of War treatment.
People would be pissed.
My runner-up and more realistic would be a Yozora game. In short, I think he's a cool character, and I hope we get a playable game rather than just learn about him cutscenes. First time answering the question of the week, let me just take a moment to say this easily and quickly become my favorite KH podcast. Thank you for the fun and the laughs. Thank you, Philly Gamer.
Thank you.
The Philly Gamer, I apologize. The Philly Gamer.
Say it fucking right.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for answering the question of the week, and we hope you answer many more to come. I Escape, shout out to I Escape, says, question of the week. Oh, yeah. It's an oldie but a goodie. I remember back among some of the first couple episodes, Addison brought it up the idea of an MMO of Kingdom Hearts. Fully voice-acted cutscenes for the story mode and new worlds that are canon to the storyline. This one would follow more of the Disney TV show lineup like the Tarzan animated series, Darkwing Duck, Aladdin. Yeah, I know the world is done to death, but the animated series has so much untapped potential and other characters, it's almost a crime none of it was ever used. Lilo and Stitch, etc., and some Final Fantasy worlds, including the Spirits Within movie, because I love that movie and it's a shame it was slept on so bad. You play as your own character or as one of the many Keyblade wielders of light, and or Donald Goofy being able to switch every mission and takes place in the short future, sometime after KH4. The plotline would be continued being guardians to keep the world safe. There would be boss rush modes you could do solo and play with friends in local or online. A boss creation mode where you can put together traits, looks, moves, etc. of the bosses available, and Lego-style piece them together for a new experience. Keyblade creation mode where you can mash together pieces of Keyblades that existed across all the games, change the color, name it, etc. I'll leave it there because now I'm bummed it doesn't exist. Oh, I Escape. It's okay. Maybe someday. Kyrie's bro says, not sure if anyone will know what I'm talking about, but there's these clock tower games that are basically survival horror with zero weapons. Give me a game as Kyrie where you have to run from Heartless, hide under tables, and try to survive. Or just give me that Kyrie Dark Souls 3 mod. Oh, maybe have her go to like Resident Evil and Silent Hill worlds. Just blend my love of Kingdom Hearts and survival horror games.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
Poor Kyrie.
Corinne says, shout out to Corinne, aka DJ Corn in the house.
DJ Corn.
My dream cage game would be in the style of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I love that game. I love that the game is overall linear and plot centric. However, there are opportunities for optional side quests, which is where I would add my Disney content. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the Disney aspects of Cage, but I am beyond ready for them to reduce the Disney involvement and focus. I think we're at a point in the Cage series where we need more focus on plot and more answers. The idea of a Cage hybrid Final Fantasy VII Remake combat excites me the most, though. Being able to swap characters in and out and win battles strategically would be badass. It works perfectly since we have a base trio, but also have the opportunity to add members to the party. Leveling up their keyblades, weapon grid styles seems dope as hell, too. So, Corinne makes a good point here, and I think that she was the last answer for this week, so I'm going to say something that I've been thinking while I was reading your answers. Everybody keeps talking about how many playable characters they want.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think that's fine. I think, like, wanting to play as more Sora is a natural thing to want. However, I don't think you can do, like, you could do maybe 3 characters like they did in BBS and have, like, a shorter story and they play similarly. Because you can't just have, like, 10 characters and have them all have the same amount of depth that Sora has as a character from a gameplay perspective. That is so much work for them to do. Like, even like a game like Marvel's Avengers that's coming out soon, the characters feel somewhat samey because there's so many characters and you can't, like, it'd be, I mean, I'm not saying you can't. It would be a lot of development work for them to have characters as fleshed out as Sora is, him being the only character you play as. You get what I mean?
Right.
So I think Corinne's idea is actually the solution to that. You give a different kind of game
to get more playable.
But even those characters, with the exception of like their limit breaks, play similarly, and you can customize them to be the same or different if you want.
Right, yeah.
So it'd have to be something like that, where it's like, okay, you can equip all the characters with these magic, and they have different moves, but they mostly play the same.
Yeah.
And even sometimes when you do have, if you do manage to get characters that feel slightly different, some of that, like, you have to design certain aspects in that character's good at. Like, for example, Barrett in 7 Remake,
there's not really, like,
he feels
archetypes.
a little scuffed.
Yeah.
Like, he feel like at first especially.
Yeah.
Because they just put these those turrets up there for you to shoot at with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I have to play as Barrett now.
Right.
He eventually gets better, and because they kind of they abandon that concept and go, it's okay, just kill enemies, right? Yeah. So there's like archetypes, but they all kind of play it the same for the most part. So I think they could do it that way. I don't think they could do it like it's like people are like, okay, it's Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, but there's 10 characters and they all have like this, like they all get abilities as they level up, and they all have different forms, and it's like you cannot do that. Like that. If you thought Kingdom Hearts 3 took a long time, just wait on how long you're waiting to play that game.
If they were gonna do it, it would have to be in a different art style. Like, for example, like they had all of these weapons and moves for the different characters in 358. It would have to be something where it's like a lower graphic, like fidelity has got to be way.
Well, even those characters,
it can't be on the same level. It can't.
I've never played the multiplayer in that, so forgive me if I'm not remembering this right. But even those characters, they have a different weapon style. They obviously have different animations, but it's not like you're leveling them up a ton, right? There's not like an RPG element to that. You switch weapons, but there's not like they don't learn a bunch of different abilities or whatever, right?
I think it's based on what weapon you're using.
Right. So you equip a different weapon.
Yeah. But it's not like they have like a full fucking like tree of fucking based on like what stats you're going into, you have
right.
Oh, you get once more sooner or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have an answer to this question, by the way? I mean, I don't know how in depth you want to go, but
yeah. I mean, picture this, dude. Picture this. It's like the overworld in Cage 2, but you're in the fucking dark realm, okay? There's a bunch of different worlds, but they're all kind of fucked up, like in 0.2. There's a certain level of like anxiety that you get playing through those worlds that you already played through, when you're playing as Aqua that like not everything's all right, and
Right.
you could do things like I think it would have been better to have like cutscenes that feel similar to what happened in like previous times seeing it, but like something's wrong, something's off, it goes wrong, or something like that.
Yeah.
To kind of like mess with the characters, like that's what I would want for like the next like the BBS trio, is that it's they're going to a bunch of worlds in the Dark Realm and shit's fucked up.
They go to a bunch of worlds and like something's off with like the characters.
Yeah.
And then you get to whatever the fuck that world's called where Quasimodo is, and he just looks the same.
It's just all the same. It's just still fucked up.
Yeah, it's just that
It
whole
was
world.
always fucked up.
Wait, the worlds are fucked up and Quasimodo's there with a gun. Always has been.
Oh no.
Poor Quasi.
Yeah, it's fucked up, dude.
Or as I like to call him, the poster boy of cuckolds.
Yeah.
All
But
cucks look
I
up
think
to
it would
him.
be cool, like where there's like weird. You could do weird shit where it's, you know, like the fountain is fucking. It's just fucking frozen, like in time, like weird shit like that.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of different worlds that they could use for that. I think would be fucking dope.
That would be pretty sick. It'd kind of add a creepy element to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with the trio in the Dark Realm.
If
anything, I hope there's something. I hope there's like a game that we're gonna play.
It like the thing is like with the whole like phase 2 or whatever.
Right. It would seem like there's gonna be different stories.
That
told,
means there's
not
got to
just
be a phase 3, right?
right.
So like we're not gonna get any type of like resolution anytime soon.
Right.
Which
But-
I'm fine with. I want more Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I see a lot of people have the sentiment of, well, yeah, they just need to finish up the story and be done with Kingdom Hearts. It's like, why?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Every single time that they haven't been like, yo.
Why are you trying to kill my podcast? The
Right.
longest running Kingdom Hearts
also,
podcast.
yeah. Also, fuck you.
Yeah.
And like this is so bullshit because every single time something is like done with, everybody's like, they gotta make another one. They gotta make another one. They gotta because the shit's good.
Right.
You guys would be crying asking for another one
Right.
if they ended it with
Y'all
Cage
are
3.
walking in the cave like Luke Skywalker and be like, it's time for the Kingdom Hearts to end.
Even if it was a perfect ending, like there was nothing that you could fucking complain about, you would
want more.
still want more.
Yeah. It's the whole reason Better Call Saul exists. People wanted more Breaking Bad, but they had a good ending.
Yeah.
It's the reason anything exists, guys. We want more. It's okay to want more. It's okay to be like, yo, this was a good ending. Like, because people always point to Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 ended good. And it's like, yeah, it was a contained story, and that's fine. If there never would have been more Kingdom Hearts stuff,
After 2, there'd be so much
there'd be
missing.
people like on Twitter right now going like, oh, they do.
There should have been a Frozen
Hashtag-
world.
Hashtag what series do you want to come back? Oh, my number one for sure is Kingdom Hearts. They left so much on the table after Kingdom Hearts 2. They only made 3 games. Can you believe it? Like, people would be like on there doing that. Or like there'd be like IGN people doing like, oh, the most dormant franchises that get the most hits on our website. Number 1, Kingdom Hearts. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, so people are like, I get it's okay to have that opinion that things should end. Because they should. But at the same time, like, if this series would have ended with Kingdom Hearts 2, you guys would all be, like, crying, pissing your pants, like a little baby Wawa, wanting Kingdom Hearts 3 or whatever was coming next.
True.
So
Unless
I'm
it was-
thankful.
Unless it was recoded.
Yeah. I'm thankful we live in a timeline where there is Kingdom Hearts past Kingdom Hearts 2. With the exception of Recoded. I'd like to live in the timeline that's just like this, but no Recoded ever existed.
Exactly the same. But because there's no recoded, me and Mike win the trivia on the charity stream.
Yes, we would have won the trivia on the charity stream. That's exactly true. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week. That's all we got for you. Next week, live. It's coming quick. It'll be 3 or 4 days from now. It's Friday to Tuesday. Is that 5 days?
Dude, time is a flat circle.
You're right. But Tuesday, the 25th at 5 p.m., Ansem Report Podcast Live, episode number 81.
Live.
Live, baby. The live version will still post on Friday like normal afterwards. But if you want to be there live for This podcast. You
To
want to
spam
see
shit in the chat.
You want to see how the magic happens. You want to know how the sausage gets made.
Yeah.
We're going to show you Tuesday. Twitch.tv/Super Spaghetti Bros. Come hang out. We're going to do a double Cavern of Remembrance.
Oh, no.
A double. And many more surprises, including next week's question of the week, which we weren't going to mention apparently. Jason, what's next week's question of the week?
Next week's
You don't
question
know.
of the week
I don't either. We're going to do a fun question of the week because all these other ones have been not fun. This one's from Alks, and it says, if you or Nomura was making a band out of the Cage characters, who would be in it and what would they play? Also, bonus points if you got a good band name.
Oh, shit. This one's a good one.
Wildcat Diana posted one right after. It was too good of a thing for her to
not answer immediately.
And she said, my Kayum romance, all the Rikus and all the Noctises.
No.
Or it's just all the Rikus and Noctis. She apparently doesn't count Yozora as a Noctis, which, let's be fair, he is. So that's our question of the week next week.
I think it's more like he kind of has like, you know how like sometimes there's Finn Balor and there's the demon? It's like there's Noctis and then there's Yozora. Like he pops the contact in.
Yeah.
And then he's like...
And then he's like, yo, it's me,
Yozora.
Anyway, so that's question of the week next week. We will answer live on the podcast. We will read your answers live on twitch.tv/Super Spaghetti Bros. So be prepared for that. I will do a live Dark Road poll on twitch.tv.
Holy shit.
A live Dark Road poll. And there'll be more surprises other than that. And then afterwards, I have procured a collection of home movies featuring us, mostly Jason,
Mostly
but us.
me. It's going to be really cringe, but also funny.
So come cringe out with us
And also
afterwards.
cute.
But we're going to start at 5 p.m. with the live podcast. And then if, you know, the home movie, it's like 45 minutes of footage.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. I cut it down quite a bit, to be honest with you.
Wow.
45 minutes, and then if we're still chilling, we might play some Fall Guys or something like that afterwards.
Okay.
So come hang out Tuesday. Tuesday. Don't forget, mark it on your calendars.
Quit your job.
Quit your job. If you
Abandon your friends and family.
and come see how we make the spaghetti. We will see you next week. Jason, hit him with it.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Thank you.
Fuck off.
I've gone cross-eyed.
No, fuck off. Fuck off.